everyone, this is Lily. Thank you for tuning in to In988. Today I have a very special guest here. I believe for many Singaporeans, you would see him appearing in Straits Times just not too long ago. Okay, that was because he did an act that I think is the first, I believe he's the first Singapore altruistic case of liver donation. Okay, let me introduce him so that he can start telling us his story. My guest today is Mr. TongMingMing. Hi Mingming, thank you for coming on to my show.
Yeah, no problem.
Before we start on this, how you journey into this liver donation situation, right? Perhaps you might want to share with me what was the impetus like when you were young. Do you have any experience or anything that was sparked you to do such a heroic act according to many people? Because you realize, I saw on your Facebook, many people want to be your friend.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Okay. For a start, I came from a broken family. My dad, he had gambling issues. He was a gambling addict, and so I grew up in a rather dysfunctional family. Since young, I wanted to be either a police officer or a social worker.
Okay.
That's my ambition. Yeah, because I was harassed by loan sharks when I was very much younger. And because of my dad, his problems, we had to sell 2 flats in Hougang.
Oh.
Even with the selling of the 2 flats, we couldn't repay the gambling debts. Yeah, so because of this, I always wanted to be a police officer because I wanted to protect my mom, protect the weaker part of society.
Okay. So when your family had to sell 2 flats, right? So how did you all seek shelter? I mean, you still need to have roof over your head for your mom, for your siblings, right? I believe then you guys were still very young, maybe in childhood stage.
Okay, I had 2 elder brothers. My dad left the house when I was about between 2 to 4, so I don't have much
Interaction.
Yeah, correct. So actually my paternal side, that means my aunts and my paternal grandparents, they took care of my entire family. My mom, she was a hawker since we were very young. She helped my eldest auntie to sell curry puff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we were very close with my paternal side, and also my maternal, my grandparents. They are very supportive because of my dad. And then since young, we really don't have much, so we will treasure whatever we have. My mom, she's a very wonderful woman.
Yeah, perhaps you can share with us about, because I read on the papers that actually it was about what your mom did actually influence what your life for volunteering in the future, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so perhaps you can give me a little background of perhaps what did your mom do, even despite her situation, she's still very selfless,
Yeah, correct. Because it's not easy for a young woman to bring up 3 children, and we were all boys.
Yeah, definitely.
So we were very, very playful. But we also learned selflessness from my mom. She gave entirely of herself to bring up the 3 of us. She really worked long hours, and that's where I learned that even though I don't have much, I can still reach out to help other people in need. That started my passion for social work, so for volunteer work.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I believe your mom could have done something that has sparked you, right? Maybe despite the fact that she doesn't have much, but she gave some financial help to people she knew needed, or she gave food to people she knew were hungry, or something like that.
Yeah. Since we were very young, there was this we call Eka uncle. There's this uncle that couldn't speak, but he comes to our house to help out with the preparation of the curry puff. So my mom actually provided shelter and food for him, although we didn't have much. And then that Eka uncle, he drew a little salary, but he became like an uncle to us, although he's not related. So from young, we know how to take care of other people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So actually, it was also through this, this disadvantaged uncle that you saw, that you actually learned how to care for the others around you, right?
Yeah, correct.
So what about during your school, your age, where you started primary school, secondary school? I'm sure there must be years whereby you guys became rebellious. There's this teenage phase whereby you guys begin to discover yourselves, seek self-identity. So during this period, how did you cope, or did you and your siblings also really give some time off, despite during school, to be involved in the community involvement project or something like that?
Okay, when I look back, I only became a Christian in 2004, but when I look back, I was always surrounded by Christian teachers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they are not allowed to openly preach in school, but during my primary school and secondary school days, I had very good form teachers.
Okay.
And then I always remember Miss Yap. When I was in Sec 3, she was my form teacher. And then she started this volunteering thing in me. She would bring us to children's home, Grace Haven. That's where I worked from 04 to 07. And then she would bring us to Old Folks Home.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it was through all these volunteering since you were youth that actually sparked this passion.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after school, during NS, did volunteer end then and you restarted again when you started working, or did it continue throughout?
Okay, 98 I graduated from Temasek Poly, and then I signed on as a police officer.
Right.
First 3 months I was inside camp, so there wasn't much I can do. But on weekends I was still, there was a old folks home directly beside the Thompson Road. The old police academy, there was this old folks home. So I would gather a few friends, we will go and help out. So this volunteering thing actually stuck in me. Yeah, and then after I became a Christian, I realized, actually God put me in a situation where I'm very thankful that I didn't turn back, because given my dysfunctional background, I could have become one super Paikian. But because of, correct.
Okay. You say one super Paikian. What do you say that it's so unlike you now, you know?
Okay, since we are exposed to violence, we are exposed to all the vices, loan shark and everything. But somehow I felt that God protected me from all this.
And you decided to take after them.
And very thankfully all of us, we are quite okay now. Except my eldest brother, he smokes. That's the only bad habit that he has.
Smoking is not a vice.
Yeah, correct.
Right, it's only a habit that you know you picked up, and then you may halt, you may not be able to get off, but you may be able to get off as well. Okay, so being in a police officer, besides your job, you know, that you have to protect the people, protect the nation. Once there's a call to 999, you rush to the scene. How did you volunteer then? You know, being a police officer.
Okay, actually, I actually told the Straits Times, but we were given clearance to say this. Actually, I was a bodyguard. Since 2000 August to 04, I was attached to team.
Okay.
Yeah. So because of shield work, I couldn't volunteer, but as and when, because after 04, I became a Christian. So 04 I left the police force. So 98 to 04 I was in the police force. So 04 I left. I actually volunteered for 9 months. Then I went to Grace Haven Children's Home as a supervisor of the CPO, Care and Protection Orders, the children under the CPO.
Okay.
Yeah.
So during which, what do? You assess cases whereby they are being abused and they come to your Grace Haven, or what does your function of this job entail?
Okay, I'm not a professional social worker because I don't have a degree in social work. So in children's home, they have the operation side and they have the social work side.
Right.
Social workers, they are professionals. They do the case management.
So I believe you're on the
operation sides. Yeah. So I will plan daily activities for the children because most of them they don't have families. So weekends we will bring them to church. We will bring them out. There are a lot of sponsors who are coming forward to help CPO children.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of things done in Grace Haven. A lot of my boys, they are still contacting me. Most of them they are in NS now. Some of them they are working.
Okay, so you realize whatever seed you've sown is actually reaping.
Yeah,
reaping. And you find that these boys are now growing up and have good characters as well.
Good and bad. Some of them they choose the correct way and then they are serving in church. They are contributing back to society. There's another group of them, they are in prison, which I still visit them sometimes. Yeah.
But all because of these functional girls.
We notice a pattern that most of these kids, they do not have a fatherly role model. The father is always absent in the picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, can I also say that at Grace Haven you actually work more with boys?
Yeah, correct. I work more with boys. Even after that, I was sort of invited to go back because I learned about the late Mrs. Lee. She was very sick. So I reapplied to join police force in 04. In 07, sorry. And then I went back specifically for Mrs. Lee. After she passed away, I went back to my social work. I was invited to Singapore Boys Hostel. I worked a year there because Singapore Boys Home, they privatized the Block F of the boys' home. These are the boys who can go out on the DRS, daily release scheme. So we started the boys' hostel at Mingming A Road.
Okay. Wow, so nice to hear that you were one of the volunteers who actually helped out to, to see to Mrs. Lee's needs, right? So I understand that Mrs. Lee the late Mrs. Lee was a very kind lady, right?
Yes.
So is there anything that we picked up from her that you want to share with my audience?
This is a bit confidential, but Mrs. Lee, she's like a grandmother to me. Okay, on a secret note, I don't know whether they can release this, but Siu Qi, PM's daughter, she's a Christian.
Yes.
And we are very sure that Mrs. Lee is safe. Interestingly, Mrs. Lee's team made up of a lot of Christians in the bodyguard unit.
Wow,
and the whole team of nurses were all Christians. So we are very sure that Mrs. Lee is safe. So Siu Qi is actually praying for MM now. So yeah.
Okay. So you realize that actually all the misunderstandings, that the public had about the family is actually due to what you people hearsay here and there, right? But with a close personal contact, it is actually something of a different. The family is not different from that of others, right?
Actually, MM is very kind. I think during the 50s and 60s, he had to rule with iron fist.
Yeah, because that was the times that he had to put the Singapore in order. Right? You remember? You see, look at Egypt, look at all the other nations. I mean, they started out better than Singapore, but So I'm glad you shared some light to us. So after you left, then continue. So volunteerism is like a part of you, but you do it when you have the time and when things and situations are appropriate. Okay. So
I decided I needed more time for my volunteer work, so I went to take up my taxi license.
Oh.
So I started driving only in January this year.
Okay. So how does driving taxi help you to volunteer? Because driving taxi is a very taxing job, right? Every day you have to meet rentals, have to make sure that your petrol is in good condition. You must meet a certain leverage of mile or kilometers that the LTA has set. So how do you split your time between volunteerism and driving taxi? This is something that a lot of taxi drivers tell me. Singapore very difficult to survive lah. You must drive. Don't drive, you cannot survive, especially with children. So how do you cope? Maybe you can give us some tips.
Okay. Maybe because I'm single, so I needed to drive a taxi. Okay, I've got regular bookings in the morning and afternoon. Once I got my mileage, once I have enough for my rental and petrol, I will go about doing my volunteer work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I will meet I'm still mentoring the boys from Grace Haven and Singapore Boys Hostel. And I also do I follow up with a lot of those elderly that are staying in only one room flats. Jamia and Lavender. Yeah, I sometimes bring my group of boys, we will go and clean up the flats, we will buy food, and we will give goodie bags to a single elderly who are living alone.
All from your own pockets?
Yeah, correct.
Wow.
It was under Touch. We got to know this through Touch Community Services. But on my own, I'm following up with my boys. I also have a group of amputees which I send for regular checkups at Tan Tock Seng Hospital. And I also got to know a group of dialysis patients, so I pick and send them for their treatments. Wow,
so these people have become so-called a part of your lifestyle?
Yeah,
correct. Part of your life?
I have this very strange this non-profit mindset. I don't drive to earn a lot of money. Once I have enough to survive, I will go ahead with my volunteer work. My mom is okay. She's well taken care of. My elder brother is working. My second brother is earning quite a lot. So she has given me this freedom that I can do my volunteer work. I don't have to worry about the finances and everything.
Wow, that's nice. Thank you, baby, for coming onto the show today.
No problem.
With the next episode, then we will touch on about your heroic act that every reader view it and want to become a Facebook fan. Okay. So we will continue the next episode. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Stay tuned to our next episode. Bye bye.